Welcome to the online training for the Hawaii school-located influenza vaccination program, also known as Stop Flu at School. The following slides provide information to prepare staff for their roles and responsibilities at the clinics. Completion of this training and a passing score on the post-test are required for all Stop Flu at School personnel, prior to their participation in a clinic. Clinic personnel must pass the post-test with at least a 70% score. If a course participant does not pass within 3 attempts, then they will not be eligible to work at the clinics. If you experience any problems with this online training, please contact the help desk before attempting to complete the post-test 3 times. You can email schoolflu.helpdesk@doh.hawaii.gov. Or you can call 808-586-8300 or 1-800-933-4832, Monday through Friday from 7:45 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., excluding state holidays. Let's begin with some background information on influenza and the Hawaii Stop Flu at School program. Influenza disease and the complications resulting from influenza disease place a heavy burden on the healthcare system. Each year in the U.S., influenza disease results in millions of doctor visits and thousands of hospitalizations and deaths. The number of seasonal influenza-associated deaths varies from year to year because flu seasons are unpredictable and often fluctuate in length and severity. Children are a population who can easily catch and spread infections. Not only high-risk children are affected. Healthy children are also susceptible to flu infection, and in extreme cases, even death may occur. The table that you see here represents data from September 2010 to August 2011. During that time, 115 influenza-associated pediatric deaths were reported in the United States. A large percentage of them were 5 years and older, which includes the ages of those eligible for the Stop Flu at School program. Certain conditions put children at high risk for having severe complications from the flu, but even healthy children are at risk. Data here illustrates that nearly half of the 115 children that died from influenza in the specified time frame were previously healthy children without high-risk medical conditions. Flu doesn't only affect sick or high-risk kids. Healthy children also become very ill or even die from the flu. While no vaccine is 100% effective, the single best way to prevent influenza is to get vaccinated each year. Vaccinations not only protect the individual but may also prevent disease transmission to family members and to the community. Through the Stop Flu at School program, school children in Hawaii are being offered free flu vaccine. Here are some reasons why. 1. The State Department of Health believes that the Stop Flu at School program will greatly contribute to the health of Hawaii's school children, families, and communities. 2. School children generally have very high rates of influenza illness. 3. School children vaccinated against influenza have fewer illnesses, fewer absences from school, and lower rates of illness in their families during the flu season, compared with unvaccinated children. 4. Children are one of the most common sources of influenza transmission in the community. The Stop Flu at School program was launched statewide in 2007. Over 50,000 students are vaccinated through this statewide program each year. Flu vaccination clinics are held in participating schools statewide and will operate during normal school hours. Parental consent is required prior to vaccination. Only one clinic will be held per school, with the exception of multi-track schools. There will not be make-up clinics. If a student needs a second dose of flu vaccine, then that student will be referred to his or her doctor. The vaccination clinics will be managed using the Incident Command System, also referred to as ICS. ICS is a management concept that uses an expandable organizational structure to promote efficiency. ICS is used across the nation to manage emergency and non-emergency events. Two main principles of ICS are chain of command and unity of command. Chain of command is a top-down order of authority through which instructions are given and received. Unity of command is the principle that all staff report to and take assignments from only one supervisor. Clinic managers are the lead authority at every clinic. All clinic staff ultimately take orders from the clinic manager, either directly or indirectly through their immediate supervisor, such as a line flow group supervisor or vaccine group supervisor. Each clinic's organizational structure may vary, but every clinic will have a clinic manager to run operations. This slide includes a list of typical ICS supervisory positions at a clinic. Many of these positions will not be used if a clinic is small. Also, some titles may vary. Chain of command and unity of command will still apply, regardless of clinic size and use of the organizational structure. At Stop Flu at school clinics, the ICS incident commander is the clinic manager. Here is an illustration of a typical ICS command structure. The Stop Flu at school clinic staff may be organized differently, depending on various factors. Formal information and instruction come from the clinic manager and will be distributed downward, through the chain of command. Here is an example of a standard clinic setup. It may vary depending on clinic location and clinic size. Participants will arrive at the entrance and proceed to the registration station, where their consent form will be screened. If the form is complete and no contraindications exist, then the registration staff will direct each participant to the waiting area. The participant will then go to a vaccination station, where the vaccinator will administer the flu shot. Afterwards, each participant must wait 15 minutes in the holding area for observation, before exiting. Now let's review the vaccine and various forms used in the clinics. The traditional flu shot is also referred to as IIV. It contains inactivated or killed strains of the flu virus that are injected. The following individuals should not receive the flu shot: persons with a severe allergic reaction to eggs or to a component of any flu vaccine, persons with a severe allergic reaction to a previous dose of influenza vaccine, persons with a history of Guillain-Barré syndrome (GBS), and persons with a moderate or severe acute illness. The flu shot consent form is green. However, if the consent form has been completed online and printed out, it may be white or another color. Please pay special attention and screen all forms carefully. On this slide you can see an example of the flu shot form. The mandatory fields are circled in red. These include first and last name, date of birth, questions 1, 2, and 3, and signature, and date. The following video demonstrates the registration station staff reviewing a consent form for the flu shot.
On the flu shot form, check for first and last name and date of birth. Questions 1, 2, and 3 must be marked No, and the form must be signed and dated.
Pictured here is the student IIV online consent form. The IIV form has a syringe icon located in the bottom right corner. After receiving the vaccine, student participants must receive a notification form to take home to their parent or guardian, who can then provide it to their child's doctor so that the immunization record can be updated. If the child received the vaccine, then the vaccine type is indicated. However, if they brought a consent form to the clinic but did not receive the vaccine, then the reason for not receiving the vaccine is indicated instead. There are multiple roles and assignments to be filled by clinic staff, and each has different responsibilities, but there are some general duties that are the same for all staff. Please allow ample time for transportation, Parking and finding the clinic site. All staff must be in the clinic and ready to start their job on time. Those who are late repeatedly will be removed from the roster. All staff must sign in. Clinic staff will receive an action sheet that outlines a description of job duties. Read this and attend the just-in-time training provided at the clinic site. Just-in-time training will be a brief refresher of important information and updates immediately before clinic. Staff will assist with clinic setup and then perform job duties as assigned. When clinic has ended, staff will assist with breakdown. Before leaving, make sure to sign out. All staff are accounted for through the attendance sheets, so signing in and out is very important. While working at the clinic, please act professionally and courteously. Dress appropriately and wear covered shoes. Bring your ID. Cell phones and other electronic devices are not to be used during the clinic. Bring bottled water and/or snacks in the event that there is a break. However, eating and drinking are not permitted when the clinic is in operation. The following slides describe the roles and responsibilities of the screeners at the registration station and the line flow staff. Registration staff and line flow consultants report 30 minutes prior to clinic start time. Those who are fulfilling job duties of the registration station must check in with the clinic manager, sign in, receive job assignment and review job action sheet, obtain just-in-time training, and assist in clinic setup. Registration station duties include screening the consent forms for contraindications and completeness, providing the parent-guardian notification form, and directing participants to the waiting area. All registration staff should report any issues or apprehensive participants to the clinic manager through the chain of command. The registration station may have a group supervisor whose responsibilities include problem-solving with registration staff regarding incomplete or inappropriately completed consent forms, such as an obvious error in birth date. If further clarification on consent forms is needed, the group supervisor will verify with the clinic manager. The group supervisor will ensure that the registration station has enough supplies and will inform the logistics section chief or clinic manager if additional supplies are needed or if there are any issues regarding clinic personnel. Screeners at the registration station will match the name on the consent form with the participant to be vaccinated. Students must have name badges. If a student does not have a name badge, ask the teacher to verify the student's identity. Inform the group supervisor if students come to clinic without name badges. Screeners will review the consent forms for contraindications, accuracy, and completeness. They will check that the form is signed and dated. When screening the flu shot consent form, if questions 1, 2, and 3 are all marked no, and the form is signed and dated, then refer the participant to the vaccination station waiting area. If any question is marked yes or left blank, refer the participant to the group supervisor or the clinic manager. If the student reports that he or she has already received the vaccine or is not feeling well, refer the student to the group supervisor or the clinic manager. Each student will receive a notification form to give to their parent or guardian. It informs the parent or guardian that their child was or was not vaccinated. On this form, the screener will enter the student's name and the clinic date. The child will then take the form with them to the vaccination station. Line flow staff keep the clinic moving in a smooth and efficient manner. General line flow staff have the following responsibilities. They will direct participants to the vaccination station, they will monitor participants in the vaccination waiting areas, and they will maintain the flow of the clinic, which includes redirecting participants to the proper station if they are found wandering, investigating backups and taking corrective action, and consulting with the group supervisor or clinic manager as needed regarding flow and personnel issues. The line flow staff may have a group supervisor. This person's duties include the following: monitor staff stations and identify line flow issues, adjust line flow staff as needed, investigate backups and take corrective action, and consult with the section chief or clinic manager as needed regarding flow and personnel issues. The line flow group supervisor will also assist with directing participants to the proper stations and maintaining the flow of the clinic. After vaccination, participants must wait for 15 minutes in the observation area. Line flow personnel should be actively monitoring this area and watching for signs of an adverse reaction. Participants in the observation area must be seated. This will reduce injury if fainting occurs. If a participant experiences any adverse reaction, contact the group supervisor or clinic manager immediately. When the clinic is over, registration staff will assist in cleanup, including the packing of supplies. Please note that personnel who have not received bloodborne pathogen training will not handle any potentially infectious material, such as hazardous waste containers and syringes. Once the clinic has been returned to its original condition, staff must sign out. In most cases, someone will be designated to return supplies to the Department of Health. Whoever is assigned to return supplies and vaccines must do so in a timely and secure manner. This concludes the slideshow presentation of the training program. If you have any questions, email schoolflu.helpdesk@doh.hawaii.gov or call 808-586-8300 or 1-800-933-4832.